Well, hello and welcome. I'm Sue Britz,
And I'm Tina Lokkbakk. Welcome to Retired.
the podcast where we talk about what life is like when we put on new tread, new wheels that move us to our next adventure. Listeners, we have some exciting news today. Tina is going to tell us about this venture that she's been planning, thinking about, developing, and bring us up to date. I think she's got some kind of an announcement that she's wanting to make.
So, this Saturday, I am going to be a part of the yoga festival. And it will be this dream that I have thought of, as you said, working on for years.
Okay. Hang on. Before the announcement, I'm imagining you on a yoga mat doing yoga for days. It's a festival. She's all sweaty. She's doing the different poses. Dog down, probably the dog down. Is that what it's called?
Downward dog.
Downward dog, and then isn't there an upward cat or I don't know? Oh, cat
I
cow,
don't know.
cat cow.
I don't even know the
Imagine
names.
her doing. Well, see, then I'm wondering what this is about. A yoga.
Oh,
You're going to a
right.
yoga fest. This sounds like you've become a guru all of a sudden, and that's not the direction we're going. But that's the picture.
At all.
The picture you
But I
painted
see
for
what
our
you-
listeners. Okay, so let me go back. Let me restate. You're going to a yoga festival, and
Where people come to not just do yoga, but to get in contact with their spiritual side, connectedness with people and nature. And there are food vendors that come where they have vegan entrees, which Marie and I had done a couple of years ago, actually for the last 2 years.
you
but
mean
this
that you did
We
as
actually cooked vegan.
right.
Cuban
So
food.
you had this was part of your cooking gig that you did.
Part of the cooking gig,
Okay.
which was in the end to do what I'm now wanting to do, but now I'm focusing on it, which is to bring people to Cuba. That has been my intention since before I quit teaching, that I wanted in some capacity to bring people to Cuba. And
So we're connecting dots here.
okay,
We're cooking food, vegan food. We're going to a yoga festival. People are in touch with themselves, and all of a sudden we're in Cuba. Connect the dots
good
for
point.
us. Connect the dots for us.
So my intention was, if you love the food and you meet us, then you're going to ask us maybe a little bit about Cuba and why she has an accent, Maria, and things about the food and culture. And then I would produce this business card, that explains that we do tours to Cuba. We also do Cuban. That's what we've been doing the last few years, is cooking privately for parties and things, Cuban food. But the idea has always been to feed into the touristic part, but not tourism. So that year that I spent in Cuba, it became more clear what it is I wanted to do with people there. And it's not to sit around and have cocktails all day long at fancy hotels. It became this, I want people to be aware of the struggles that the Cubans face, about 80% of them, and to see both the good and the bad of Cuba. And the bad, what I mean by that is, I think there's so much in our daily lives as Americans we just don't think about, that they have to struggle with daily. And yet they're positive people. It's a warm culture, like even with the daily struggles. So I wanted people to see something different, and I wanted it to be something philanthropic. So I've been curating a philanthropic retreat, or philanthropic tours, I should say. And at this yoga festival, I'm going to have a booth where other people sell and do services, that is going to demonstrate both the beauty and wonder of Cuba, as well as the challenges and how people can help philanthropically.
All right. Okay, so we've been hearing bits and pieces of this dream all along the way. We've been hearing about the car and getting the car ready, the philanthropic, And the retreats, we even had a little bit on that. So this is pulling it all together, and it's doing the whole big picture stuff.
Correct. Now, instead of trying to maneuver my way in through food, it is being direct. And I guess that's what's so scary. And I feel like I'm like deer in the headlights, because now I'm putting myself out there. I will be speaking as a teacher, as a presenter, with Maria at my side. And it's not just the sell, Sue. It's like, I don't even feel like I'm selling as much as I'm so passionate about what we can do as people visiting Cuba, and just the pods of people that we take can make such an impact with so little, that it's this passionate thing where I have thought about so many times, like, do I really want to do this? And it's just scared. I'm scared of doing the thing I really want to do. But when I really get calm and in my place, this is like the thing I feel I have to do. It's been an interesting thing.
All right, so I'm listening to all of this, and I think I know you kind of well. It's kind of like pulling together all this wonder and magic that you've learned when you've been immersed in another culture, specifically the Cuban culture, and the wonder of experiencing life in a different way, from a different perspective, different point of view, doing it through a language that you love, employing all your skills that you've mastered over the years as a teacher, and bringing it all together into one thing, and hoping and trusting and believing that there's an audience that wants to do the same thing, that wants to just be overjoyed, be overtaken by another experience. And I think that's realistic. I mean, those of us who travel and do so in a way that's not just to go checklist things off and I've seen that, I've seen this, but more of embracing the place that you are, even if it's within your own culture, your own language, your own country, but to go and embrace something in a different way. It's so exciting. It's so amazing, and it teaches so much about ourselves.
I don't think you could have explained it and narrowed it down better. And I appreciate the fact, you're right. Like, I've had this thing so much in my brain. I see all the dots connected. I see this whole thing, and I understand how other people wouldn't, but you did. And thank you for pulling it out and helping me to connect the dots and express it. And yeah, you did so well. And really, it has, you're right, all to do with these teaching skills that I've had. It's about teaching too. Like you said, opening up people's minds, spirits, and souls to something so radically different. Remember, we live in a capitalistic country. This is communism, and this is communism 70 years down the road. And it's so conceptually unbelievably different. And here's a perfect example. When Maria had gone back on a few trips before, and I'm frustrated with her because she was supposed to go to this ministry to get these paperwork documents and this thing to get this done and start on the car. And I could not understand why it took so long.
Mm-hmm.
And after that year there, I understand, because things don't work the same way. Transportation doesn't work the same way. Offices don't have computers. They don't have big data bank systems, some of them.
Yeah, infrastructure fails at times.
Infrastructure is always failing. And now let's throw on electricity outages that go on for days and weeks. Let's throw on the water rationing. Let's throw on internet being taken away from people. And so to do the things that we just get up, turn on the computer. Ooh, the internet's glitchy today. Oh, we aren't even talking glitching. We're talking, it's so difficult just to go get internet for your phone, for your house. Nothing is the same. So after my year of experience and her being gone this past year, there was no frustration and anger at all, because I knew exactly what she was up against to accomplish every goal. So part of what this is, the retreat aspect. Tours are going to be a different thing. So the retreat aspect is, it's kind of like the intro to rebuilding your life. That is the retreat that I'm offering. I'm looking at the fact that when I hit the hardest part, and you were there, you saw it, my parents were dying. There were problems with my oldest daughter. The divorce was one of those high conflict, horrible, gut wrenching. They're all horrible, gut wrenching, but there was another level of sabotage in there. Going back to work full time, not having technology experience, like I was in complete overwhelm with life, right? And I learned the skills and moved forward. And I am building the life that I've wanted. I'm living where I want. I'm creating my own business. I'm doing these radical things. And I want to take people who are at that place where everything has fallen apart and they're left without identity, basically, the one that they used to have. How do you rebuild your life? And that is where I will take them on this journey. And it starts with by going into this radically different environment, as I did through Maria. I learned that even though it was the hardest experience and time of my life, I could come back and see things with gratitude and awareness that I had never seen. And it was kind of the beginning of the healing process to realize that there are really good things in my life, because I was at a place where what is good in my life, to coming back from Cuba, realizing there are plenty of good things in life and there's so much I could do that would be worth living for fully and entirely. So that's what I'm hoping, to find these people who are ready to make some radical changes and open up their lives to something different. And then from there, they'll come back. And then this is the teacher part. We create a cohort, based on values. For people who want to do this with me, the value will have to be philanthropic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right away, I've got a group. We will be very like-minded people, because we all will have this feeling of philanthropy. And from there, we come back and then we work as a team. We build the team there, and then we come back as a team and we meet with each other regularly and create community to rebuild lives. Because that's the one thing that was challenging for me, is there was no real direction on how to do it. So I've spent 10 years trying to figure out how to do it. And now I've got it. And now I want to share that with other people who are interested, because why spend 10 years when you can narrow it down to one,
Absolutely.
So there we go.
So the process of going to Cuba, where you see, even as a tourist and going on a tour, or someone on a retreat, you're going and seeing something, as you said, radically different, something that is outside of your everyday norm and understanding. Even for someone like me who's lived in say Mexico or lived abroad in other countries, Cuba's going to be its own version of that. And like you said, it's gone through 70 years of communism. It's and it's an island nation. It's small. It's very different in that respect. So you're going to go somewhere very different. Most people have not even had on their radar, because as Americans,
It's been taboo.
we weren't to go there. And so you're seeing all the challenges of that Cuba face. The Cuban people live every day, and yet they do that with this level of joy, excitement, the embracing of their own culture, knowing that you are resilient,
So resilient,
and building
right.
your resiliency. So you've got you can see how difficult things are, and yet you can see how beautiful it is, because there's both. There's that dichotomy, that yin yang is so right in your face. You see both of it at the same time. And so you're going to someplace with that attitude and with the openness to do this exploration on. Tour group is one version of it, but the retreat's another. With that openness, then you're going to come back. And what this is the excitement of, for me, this happened to me when I was a young person. You come back to your home culture and you see it radically different too. You
Yes.
come back and you see, not as plainly maybe as it is you might in Cuba, but you see the real difficult challenges of the places that you live and what's in your face that could be so negative and difficult and hard. And then you also see all the amazing, wonderful things that you love about your culture, your hometown. And that moment, those moments where you see that, you perceive that, there's massive growth that can happen, and lots of like knowledge just rushes in, and you get excited about it. This is the stuff that cultural shock and change. When you pay attention to it, it opens up all these doors for learning and growth. It's so different than just being a tourist.
Yes.
And and there's nothing wrong with being a tourist. I love being a tourist.
Absolutely
But when
not.
you approach that kind of interaction with a new culture, um, it can change you. It can make you grow.
Wow. Thanks. Do you want to be my spokesperson? Spokesperson? That was
No, I get what you're
perfect.
saying because I felt that the first time when I came
You
back
did get it.
from living in Spain and coming back and seeing my own country and culture differently. As a young person, it's really impacting too. You live there for a year, and I remember coming back, and there had been a war, the Malvinas War, and I'm like, okay, how do you feel about the Malvinas War? Asking my family, my friends, and they're like, what are you talking about?
Oh, wow.
And
Right. Wow.
and I'm like the island off of Argentina. There was
Wow.
there was invasion oh, you mean the Falklands War? I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah, and so just knowing that the perspectives that was just one
Yes.
example. Because there was
Right. No,
also
it's an
there was
excellent
all when
example.
I was there was also a coup d'état. I mean, there was all kinds of things going on. But
Wow.
when you see that dichotomy of and that point of view, which like normally I would be on the English side. Well, it's the Falklands, but I was in Spain, so I'm on the
Right.
Malvinas side, and to experience that in your brain and know that both are truth, both are accurate, both
Yes. What a way of putting it.
have
Yeah.
a window of
Both are true.
understanding, and you've got to just take all that information in and decide for yourself what do you make of that. So yeah.
So I'm going to actually share the structure that I'm working on. So when I get my people, they're going to fill out a philanthropic questionnaire. And my hope is to have them think about either their profession or their passion, like a hobby that they're just crazy about, and connect them with a Cuban that we feel would be a good fit because we have Maria's entire neighborhood community is just rife with people that she could connect. So let's say you wanted to meet a teacher. Let's say you signed up for this, Sue, because you're wanting to discover something different. So you come to this yoga festival, you see this presentation, and maybe I should take a moment. I close your eyes. So I'm going to have a 10 by 10 tent with a wall with beautiful wooden seating for four little tables, eight little chairs, and a really beautiful table set up with a 65-inch screen television where I'll be projecting this presentation. The 8 people that make it into the tent, because I only have room for 8, will have Cuban coffees and some specially made pastries from Maria, free of charge. And then we will present this and both the beauty and the challenges of Cuba. And then we'll have like a question and answer time. So on the table, there will be there's like a wooden book where you open it up and it will say, if you're interested, write down your contact information. So let's say you're one of these people. And so you're going to come with me then. The following Monday night, I'm going to have like a webinar for the people that are interested, and we will meet on Zoom, and I will present further what it is it would be and have them go into this philanthropy. So the structure, just so you know, if you're interested, let's say, is I will have those 5 guests. They're all staying in one place, but it will not be with the government hotels. So part of what we're doing is making sure that all the money we can goes directly into a Cuban. So it would be a Cuban owner of this home. So it'll be a Cuban home on the beach because as Americans, I don't want to culture shock people, right? And stay in places that may be not restful. So we will find and have a home where there will be 5 bedrooms. So everybody has their own place to stay. And then Maria and her friend will come in and do all the personal chefing. So we will have authentic Cuban food prepared while we are during our stay there. And we won't be staying with them because I want them to have time as well to bond together as a group. Anyway, in the mornings, we will have our drivers, that it'll be Maria and myself, and our guides, depending on where people feel comfortable with or without language. And we will bring them to these people. And not everyone will pick the same people, right? Because everybody's got different.
You mean like different?
So like, let's say you sign up as a teacher,
Mhm.
you want to meet with a teacher and go and see what public school life is like.
Right.
So
Okay.
we would have you matched with a Cuban that fits those things. Let's
Okay.
say you're a nurse. We would then bring you to the hospital with our friends that are a nurse and go with them through their job. And every morning that would be, we'll have breakfast and then we will break off. We will, each person will be with their respective Cuban. And then we come back in the afternoon and we process all of this, out loud and share our experiences. And then at night, we will then go into kind of like a detox because it'll be kind of heavy because we're going to be driving through areas that tourism doesn't go through. They're going to see Cuba for what it really is. We will stop off at the real Guarapo sugarcane stand that's run, not through the government, again, through the private person. So in the evenings, then it'll be like we're going to go to the Mafia Hotel and we'll get to see where the mafiosas met. And, each evening will be something different. I don't want to give the things away. So, and then we will do that for the 5 days. So when they arrive, it's bonding, team making time, 5 days of work with evenings ending in beauty.
An event. Okay.
And then the ending day will be the conclusion and how we're going to go and proceed from there. So that's the idea of this 1 week retreat.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Cool.
Yeah.
What are we looking forward to? What's the next steps after you get your clients? How soon would you be heading out?
Well, this is another radically different thought. When that first year happened where my parents were terminally ill or had passed really, and it was my ex's time to have Christmas with the kids, I was on my own. And I thought, you know what? I think that I want to take people during the Christmas season. So I think I want to call it Christmas in Cuba.
Nice.
And the reason for this is there are a number of people when you're going through some things that would appreciate not being surrounded by the traditional hustle bustle. Everybody's seeing family and life is great and everybody's drinking hot cocoa and exchanging presents because not everyone is experiencing this.
Right.
And I think to go to Cuba and see how non-commercial it is, how so few people even celebrate it because there's no money. They don't have wrapping paper to go spend money on. But it's also amazing in that it is so beautiful because it goes to the deep part of Christmas celebration, which is community. It is eating together, drinking together, celebrating together, but it's not about the decoration and it's not about the gift giving. It's about the time spent with family and people you love. And that's the kind of thing I want people to see differently, that I think we've kind of lost ourselves along the way. It's the community connection that I see in Cuba that makes this passion in me to have to share. So that's why I'm thinking Christmas in Cuba.
And that's a great time of the year weather-wise too. It's like one of the best times. So It's
Amen.
not, yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah.
bonus. Okay, so sign up, folks. How do people get in contact with you, Tina? Do you have any contact information?
Yes. If they could email me at greatdamesexperiences@gmail.com.
Okay, we'll put that in the link.
That would be
in
fantastic.
the show description.
Yes.
Okay, coolio.
Yeah. And although the website is not done, it started with the tourism. I have not been able to go in to make the changes for the retreats, but they can also check out if people are interested in going on the tours with us, their philanthropic tours. Check out greatdamesexperiences.com and look at our website.
Oh, and I just love that it's called Great Dames. A nice play on Gigi, and
Yes.
very wonderful. Lovely.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening. Now let's pack up this week's episode in the trunk.
Ride shotgun and be a part of our adventure by clicking on the plus sign to subscribe and follow our show. This will help our ratings and, more importantly, inspire us to keep creating fun and engaging content. We would love to hear from you in the comments sections or email us at retiredpodcastnewtread@gmail.com. Use the fast track lane by sharing episodes with friends, family, and anyone who would like to join us on a road trip through retirement.
Be sure to check the show notes for links and contact information. Retired is chauffeured by Sue Britz and Tina Lokkbakk. It is produced, directed, and edited by me, Sue Britz. Music and graphics are by me too. Buckle up and tune in next week so that you won't miss your chance to join our retired road trip. Can you believe that I was recording all this and they are power washing my house the whole time? I'm hoping that you don't hear this.
I can't hear anything except you, which is so crazy. But remember, I'm hearing you through here. Well, no, I should still hear it.
Mm-hmm.